Hey, I'm Daniel Berger, and this is Adventures of a Real Estate Broker. Welcome to the podcast where Metro New York real estate meets great stories and a douse of humor. Forget the dry sales talk. Here we dive into the fun and unexpected moments of real estate. Join me each week as we explore Westchester, Long Island, the Bronx, and more. You'll hear about the people, the places, and the crazy situations that make this industry so interesting. Thanks to our sponsor, Remax Prestige Properties, we're ready to share the lighter side of real estate. Whether you're a pro, a buyer, or just curious, we've got something for everyone. Ready for today's adventure? Let's get into it. Welcome to another edition of the Adventures of a Real Estate Broker. I'm Daniel Berger. I'm the host. This week, we have the pleasure of having a 30-year real estate veteran. He's an entrepreneur. He's a construction consultant. He invests in his own real estate. He's written his own biography, Resilience. He's an advocate for social equality, probably not just in real estate, but in everything he does. With that, I'd like to welcome Barak Zilberberg I think you're coming from Nevada, correct?
Yes, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, by the way, thank you for having me on your podcast. It's very appreciative. Thank you. It's my honor and pleasure to be present with you and have a wonderful discussion of real estate. So your question was, where do I live? I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I love this city. This is a city of where dreams have evolved into anything you can imagine. Elvis Presley was here, the Rat Pack. We're talking like the 50s,
Right.
We're talking like, 40s, 50s, 60s, then Bugsy Siegel. He went ahead and founded the Flamingo, which up to this day is there. So there's a lot of history here, and it's just a lot of visionary people that have come and have been all along history to this day. So that's why I love Las Vegas.
Well, it seems like the people that you named certainly all came to Vegas with a dream. And what's interesting is, that's all within 100 years ago. So,
Yeah.
it's not like, our founding fathers, in the 1700s, 1600s,
Yeah.
1800s. This is, it's more recent history of, you know, I guess that's what Vegas really was about like,
Yes.
right? Like having a dream and then going there and doing it.
Yes. And also, the Wynn family broke through here. They started off building a $600 million resort, which was called the Mirage. And people said, oh, he's crazy. They said Bugsy Siegel's crazy. They said Sheldon he's crazy. He's gone nuts. But, they made it in the city. I have to tell you.
Right.
So, Las Vegas is to stay and will be here as long as the world is here. It is the city of entertainment, undisputed, and I mean, people are coming here every day. I mean, from all over the world to buy homes, to buy properties. So Las Vegas is not what it was. What I saw it and where it's going to be far more valuable. For sure.
Everything's cyclical. And so Vegas maybe has more ups and downs. Would you say it has more ups and downs, or would you say it's kind of just maybe it does have ups and downs, but it's on a trajectory that's always been just higher, higher, and higher?
Well, what's happening now is Las Vegas was perceived as a non-family oriented place to raise a family. But as of now, as of today, and I would say as of the past 5 years, people have changed their minds and ideologies. So, in actuality, you have um, you actually have people that are coming in here with families, in Summerlin and Henderson, all these great places that we have. Just to let you know, in Summerlin, they're planning to build a studio there, and therefore we need more housing there. There'll be more people coming in, actors, producers, directors, anything you can imagine, and thank God, we could have that deal put together and it just grow the economy even further. Summerlin, in my belief, is the Beverly Hills of Las Vegas for families, family oriented type of stances. Henderson is good too, but the value will be always here. Just a piece of advice.
So are you more, I mean, you're doing so many things from a construction consultant to an investor. How do you, what I guess constitutes, how do you break up the pie of things that you do to spend your time and or I guess, reap the rewards from it?
Well, now I'm also, I'm willing to, I love Summerlin, but I also love downtown Las Vegas. I think it'll be a work. Can you hold on 1 second? I don't know what's happening. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
going back to you. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have people here that they're doing, I'm all the time busy, but what I was going to say is I'm focused now. Do you hear me, sir?
I hear
Yeah?
you great. Yes.
Okay, I'm focused in downtown Las Vegas. Downtown Las Vegas will be a place of living and working. I envision downtown Las Vegas, such as New York City, such as downtown Los Angeles. Even furthermore, we're going to have skyscrapers here, here in downtown Las Vegas. It'll be a beautiful city. That's what I envision in the next 10 years. And it'd be my honor to be part of all of this. I know there was as far as a person, Tony, which is the Zappos founder, he had a vision here in the city of Las Vegas, which is the downtown area. Fortunately, he passed away, and visions have diminished, and nobody's doing anything here. So, what I would like to do is take his visions and his legacy and bring it on in, and even make it even furthermore more abundance and plentiful for everybody here that is visiting in Las Vegas and the people that live here as well.
So as I was doing my research and I feel that it seems like a part of you is this advocate for social equality in all things that you do. Um
Yes.
how do that's a very admirable goal to have, an objective as in different business lines of business that you have. um how do you go about working for that and ensuring that that's something that you're able to work on, social equality?
Well, it all depends on the opportunities that you are presented. Like here in Nevada, for instance, in order to evict someone, it's not a huge procedure here. You understand? So if someone is in non-payment with you, you actually could go ahead and post a notice that is needed according to the law. And then if they don't pay to the time period, then I would say within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the marshal is here and they're out. So I give opportunities to everybody. So I say to them, you know what, your credit isn't really good, you know, that's fine. What we'll do is we'll take 2 months of deposit from you so that I'm assured if I have to go through eviction proceedings or what have you, I'm still in the buffer and I could pay for attorney fees to get them out. But if they're paying, then there's no problem. Now, if you go over to California, it's a different situation there. Over there, you'd be lucky if you get someone out in, 4 to 6 months, if need be. So you really have to be choosy with the credit and who you're putting in your unit in regards to their credibility and their job and their income and all that. But here, it's a little different. Here we have opportunities, and that's what I like to do. And actually, I want to tell you, in my building, mostly, in the populated factor of my office space is all Black Americans. So I'm here to give opportunities to not only Black Americans, to any American that wants to succeed, and give them a place of serenity, a place they could think and bring their creativities to life and bring their dreams to life. And then one day they'll tell me, I don't need you anymore. I've outgrown your place, then I understand. But at least I did my job as an entrepreneur to be in presence of all of these remarkable people.
What percent of your properties are commercial? What percent of your properties are commercial versus residential?
Well, the office I'm here present is commercial. It's retail office space. Over back in California, I have also a luxury. I have my home as well. It's actually now a person from YouTube has leased it out for me. So now they're building another home for me to reside. But yeah, things are going really well. Actually, I got this person's social media. My dear tenant knocked on my door, said, I want to give you $14,500. Can you move out of your home? So I had to think about it, and I thought about it, and I said, I'll move out. I'll give him my home because he's a great guy and he deserves to be in a great place and peace and do the things he wants to do. So I give him my home. I'm a person where it's nothing is for me, it's for others, and others feel that it's to what I have inside. It's not about money or anything. It's just the feeling, the gut, who you are dealing with, and it's just remarkable.
So I named the podcast The Adventures of a Real Estate Broker just because of all the zany things that happen, in real estate. Give me an example of something crazy that's happened to you over the years.
Every day it's crazy. I mean, I can't explain, but the craziest thing is I got a line of credit on my home that I leased out for $14,500 a month. Actually, it's not me; it's my wife. She was able to, transact between me and her and the tenant. A remarkable person. He has basically the same birthday as I, April 27th. Not the same year, but the same birthday. But the fact remains is she was unable to transact, and it's just unbelievable. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going in a tangent. In regards to one day I said, I have 900 grand, $900,000 line of credit. So I woke up and I said, I looked in the LoopNet and there was this deal, the office that I'm sitting here today. I saw it for $575,000. I said to myself, is this real? I just couldn't believe it. So the next morning I woke up, I put my kids in the car, my wife, everybody, we're in pajamas. I said, we're dressed up. Literally, I'm like, let's go with the pajamas. Like, no, we got to dress. So we went in the car, and I go to the property, and I see there is a building there. It's not burnt or anything, and I saw the whole property. So I called the broker. I said, listen, my wife is an agent, a sales agent. We don't want her to be in the transaction. We're going directly with you. I'm coming to your office and I want to buy this building. Sight unseen. Like I never saw this building in my life inside. So I go in the office and he has a very, very nice assistant named Kathy. And I spoke with her. I said, listen, I want to buy this building. What is the number? I know you're asking 575. What are the terms? All of that. Can I get a loan? She told me, no, 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 no. You can't get a loan on this one. You have to come in with all cash. Meanwhile, in hindsight, I'm saying, wow, I have 900 grand from my line of credit on my home. So I say to her, no problem. What is the number? She tells me you got to be a little bit north of 620,000. So I said, okay, I'll give you 622,000. Let's write it up and I'm going to close the deal right now. So they were in shock. I just went ahead, signed everything. And then it was a real deal, and then the visions that I had for this property were all right, So basically, I revamped the whole building, top to bottom. I actually had people in here from California that live in my apartment building over there. 6 people. They brought also a woman to cook for them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They did a Google type of workplace here where they actually lived, ate, and worked, in this building full time. So in a month and a half, I turned it over, and from there now I'm about 55% occupancy at this point, and we're talking about since May, and now we are in, I believe, in September. So it's not bad. It's not bad, and the returns are great, and it's just a matter of a vision of you may have on the property.
How long was the property on the market for before you stumbled
It
upon
was
it?
like I don't know. They said that they just put it up within the week, and they had so many people calling him. I mean, you're talking about nonstop bugging him, calling him, oh, this and that, and offers, and then I went in there. I just struck the deal. I guess it was my luck. So yeah, I
If
guess
they
you have to
wanted,
be in the right place, in the right time, in the right moment, and
right,
have the right resources and means, of course.
that's always the case. How did you get involved in real estate?
Well, I always love real estate. I love real estate because you cannot reproduce land. You have land and it's in a certain location, and that's all what you have to work with. Now, if you have something on that piece of land, and I like to be in places where you have like I would say 50, 60,000 people within a square mile at least. Then you're not out in the boondocks. I'm talking to you about commercial. A lot of people invest out in the woods, and later on, the triple net leases go dark, and they're out in the woods. So you have to make sure that you have an asset that's actually populated within the region. That's my advice. That's in commercial. In regards to residential, what I do is I like the new builds, such as Pulte, Lennar, KB Homes. There's a lot of companies that build homes. But what I do here in Las Vegas is I pick out the lots that I want. So I look out for view lots of the strip. So if I see through the backyard and I see lights and I see the view, I'm buying it. That's how I do it. And then I can maximize the return on the property by having the best location, the best lot, and for, of course, a reasonable entry point. Like over in Las Vegas, I mean, it's getting to millions and it is millions, but there is entry points of hundreds of thousands as well. So I suggest all of you young folks and people out there that are looking to get in, this is a great place because later on it won't be in the hundreds anymore. It'll be in the millions. So anywhere you could get in the hundreds, I recommend. And I mean, other parts in the States, but particularly Las Vegas, it's a great place. I like Reno as well. Reno is great in the north of Nevada, but I don't like snow, so that's why I'm not there.
Um, so when people come to you and they're like younger people or newer people to real estate, what are some of the advice that you give them about a thought process on getting into either real estate as a career, as an agent or broker, or as an investor?
Yes. Well, basically, I believe every young person entering into the market should buy their own home and enter a home ownership. Absolutely. And it must be affordable for them to enter, and we must have the programs that is needed for them to enter into the American dream. I call it the American dream. When you own a home, that's the American dream. Over there, you build your asset, your equity, you build your families in there. I mean, there's so many things you could build through there out of your home. And why not own something, that is owned by you, something that is valuable and will be valuable in the future. So, I mean, I highly, highly recommend, and I think we should have more curriculums in our school districts and inferring this subject as to, them buying their own home, getting impeccable credit, working hard, saving, and investing in their first home and having the programs available. That's my goal in my foundation.
I mean, I 100% agree with that because clearly, how do you sell property or homes if you're in residential if you've never owned a home? You don't know the do's, the don'ts, and how are you a guide? How are you a mentor and a guide to the people that you're servicing? So it certainly makes one a better advocate for them when they've been in that same position and understand, how much you should pay, what the value is, and how to protect your asset as well. I do think that that's quite important.
Yeah. And then once you build a portfolio of real estate, you see that you start gaining an appetite, and you see it really works, and is of need. It's something that is of need. So given and said all of that, you just want to keep attaining properties, one by one, and enhancing your portfolio. And
I
then
think
also in regards to the taxes and all of the deductions, all of that. I mean, that helps you as well. Sometimes you don't pay taxes because of the fact that you have so many deductions. There's the interest, there's the property taxes, there's fundamentals and maintenance of the property. So all of that gets deducted. Plus, you have a 25-year amortization deduction on the property on your tax return because in 25 years, the property ages and deteriorates. So you have a consideration for 25 years. So that comes off taxes as well. Knowing the laws and knowing the tax codes and all of that in real estate, it definitely helps.
think that also you talk about how intricate the whole process is, and I think that's where it's not for everybody, right? So some people don't want to. You kind of have to dot I's, cross T's, and be you have to pay attention to detail and be thorough. And for those people, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. There's some people that don't want any, it's not so easy. You don't just buy a property and rent it and that's it. So you
Yeah,
have to, if you make use of the legal tax codes and accounting, then it all becomes much more, beneficial for you, as opposed to, some people are like, oh, I'm just going to invest in, well, there is some information that it's like you just don't, drive a car without, taking classes and getting a license. And there's things you have to know about the responsibilities of driving it, maintaining it, and all of that other stuff. And it's
yeah,
the same thing, with a house or real estate or what have you. But there's it's certainly a great way for some to build, their wealth, right? Not everybody, but many people, especially if you're,
yeah.
you have to follow rules and laws and all that other stuff.
It's not definitely for everybody, but it's highly recommended on my part. Rather than renting, instead of the money going into someone else's asset, rather it goes to your asset. So it all depends, and yeah, I mean, everything has problems. I mean, nothing is perfect, but it's maneuvering and the challenges of, you know, prolonging or not prolonging, but overcoming, not prolonging, overcoming the problem. That's the challenge. And once you overcome that, then you're like a hero all of a sudden. You're like, oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it's all challenges. That's all what it is in life. So,
Well, and you need to do it in a way that makes sense for each person and your risk tolerance and because you don't want to get in over your head, right? If you're getting in over if all properties that you overspend are bad, right? So you have to use, you have to kind of sharpen your pencil and make sure that you're getting in at the right time and that your plan and your budget, and your projections, make sense. And as you said, with those, the legends of Las Vegas, how other people, I guess, didn't think that their math was going to math, but they had a vision of how many people would come, how many rooms they could do, so there is probably a little bit of craziness in excellence and in being a visionary. Um, and I think, don't they always say, like, when other people, like, part of the time to invest is when other people are afraid to,
yes, no, absolutely.
but
Um,
certainly you have to do it, in an educated way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, um, what I'm saying is, by starting off and having your own home, that'll kind of give you a realization of the whole process, and then you'll be in actuals of what it is. And of course, obtaining a loan, get a pre-qualification letter so you could submit, of course, with your offer to show that you're a strong buyer, and then going through the exercises of the purchase agreement, what have you, and then once accepted, you're in escrow. So going through the process of escrow and title and everything is articulated, and the wires of the money and the transfer and all of that adrenaline and the feel of that whole thing, just there is a process and an experience. And once you go through it, I mean, it's very rewarding, and then you understand the value of everything. You appreciate the value of everything because you went through it, you've obtained the home, you're able to qualify and all that. That's a milestone right there, and then from there, you just can do anything, you know. So, yeah, with me, it started with my home. That's where it started from.
What do you like? How do you do from like a work-life balance? What are things that you do to try to make sure that you have Barak time as well as client time? How do you separate? Do you separate? Give me a little bit of a background on how you operate with a work-life balance.
Well, the thing is that I love the quality time with my family always. I never like to be alone, of course. That's why I always have a family and I have children. I have five children. God bless them, and three grandchildren too. So I love family. But I do have to. You see, you are the father of your children, and you have to be a figure for them. So I am just working hard and trying to be a figure for them and for others to grasp on and succeed. So that's my whole goal. Um, that I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's my whole goal, you know. And not only my family, but the same interpretation that I instill into my family. I like to instill it to the country and to the world, you know, worldwide. So I could touch millions and hundreds of thousands, millions and billions of people. That's my whole notion here. So that everybody feels that they have an opportunity to grasp and knowledge and the things they can do within themselves, instilling just great things of education and knowledge.
What do you think in the next couple of years, real estate's going to look like? And maybe in the either in Nevada or in the US, what do you see? Are there changes coming down? Um, or what do you see the next year, 2 years, 3 years is going to look
Well,
like?
what I see is I don't see real estate coming down. I see it just going up because there's so much in territory and land that you can produce. You can't produce land. And you know, the demand is there too. So you have the demand and you don't have land. I mean, here in Las Vegas, we could go even outward, even more so, and even spread out to the north. We have plenty of land, but I mean, the question is if people want to live in territories, or, and I'm sure they do. So we have more land here, more opportunities here. Um, it's more dense in New York and Los Angeles, Chicago, and other places. It's getting dense here in downtown Las Vegas and in Summerlin and in Henderson. So things start become valuable. So my recommendation is we have enough land here. If we could get grants from you know, the state and build affordable housing and have, you know, subdivisions to service that, that'd be great. Then they could enter into, you know, the city with a 20 minute, half-hour drive. They're in the city, they're at work, you know, wherever they have to go, it's just, you know, it's fairly close, not too far. So that's my vision for Las Vegas.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Barak, for joining us for this week. You bring with us, 30 years of real estate experience, but just being, it just seems like you're a thinker and always trying to advocate for, not just the deal, but for the people in the deal, knowing that probably those people are, you know, be deals down the road and also are just people. So that's kind of a nice thing to hear. And so again, thank you for being on. Do you have something
Oh,
else?
just to sum it up really quick, at the end of the day, it's all about the people. In real estate, you help people, you help others, you give opportunities to people on into your assets, and they flourish and they grow and they multiply. And that's your blessing. So that's why I love real estate too. Yeah.
That's yeah. So that's good, and that you've certainly found your niche where you're able to touch as many people as you can to to bring that advocacy. Um, so for another edition of the Adventures of a Real Estate Broker, thank you, Barak, and it's Daniel Berger, Until next time.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate your presence. Thank you for having me on your show. God
No,
bless you.
it's thank you for coming on. It's great to get people from around the country and around the world. I haven't done around the world yet. I have done around the country just to get other people's, thoughts and what's going on, and just to hear other people's voices. And so um it probably takes probably it's like a couple of months before your episode comes on, but we'll connect with you, and then you can share it on social media. And
Yeah.
that's part of it as well, where it's not about me, it's about you and your people. And they're like, oh, you did this, and that's kind of cool. And it's just having kind of a cool conversation just about what makes different people tick is a fun thing.
Yeah, and it definitely is. Thank you so very much.
Okay. Thank you
I
so much,
praise you. I
Barak.
praise you. Thank you for what
Okay.
you do. Thank you.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless.
Okay, take care. Thanks for joining me on the adventures of a real estate broker. I hope you enjoyed our time together as much as I did. If you laughed, learned something, or just had a good time, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the podcast. A big shout out to our sponsor, Remax Prestige Properties, for making this all possible. Remember to leave a review if you enjoyed the show. It helps more people find us. Until next time, keep it real, keep it fun, and keep exploring the adventures in your neighborhood. I'm Daniel Berger, your New York realtor, and I'll see you in the next episode.